All right, by request. Chef John, how do you make perfect white rice every time? Well, I'm going to show you my method. It is extremely simple, and if you follow these directions, it will work. First of all, though, you need a nice pot to cook it in. Okay, one of the secrets is something with a nice tight-fitting lid, and also it needs to have a nice thick bottom. So you can't really use those really thin aluminum cheap dollar store pans. It's just not going to work. It's just too thin. So get yourself a nice pot. That's a Le Creuset I use. And also, I suggest you get Basmati rice. All right, Basmati rice, you're going to find that in the supermarket. All right, so you might be in the health food section, but it is a beautiful, fragrant, just really flavorful rice that just is very user-friendly. So I used a 2-3 method, 2 cups of rice to 3 cups of water. So I want you to put and measure this very carefully, okay? I want you to put 2 cups of the Basmati rice in the pot. That's 1 teaspoon of butter. You can use olive oil if you want. A pinch of salt, maybe half a teaspoon of salt, and then carefully measure exactly 3 cups of cold water. Now some of you might think, hey, I'm going to use hot water from the tap, get a little head start. Hot water stays in the pipes. It just sits and gets stale, so never cook with hot water. So always nice, fresh, cold water. So you're going to see me put 3 cups in there. All right, there's the third one. Okay, so it's 2 cups of rice to 3 cups of water. Most people put too much water in the rice, so if you use that proportion, it's going to be great. Take a fork and give it just a quick stir, and that's going to go on high heat, okay? I want you to put it on high heat, and when you just see it start to simmer, see that just the bubbles in the middle started coming up? All right, it's not a rolling boil, but it came to a simmer. I give it 1 quick stir with the fork, and I want you to cover it. And I want you to turn the heat down to low. Now here's what I mean by low. So that was high, and then a little lower, a little less, right there. Okay? So a little visual for you, that's low. Okay? And I want you to set the timer for 20 minutes exactly, and then do not open the cover. Do not touch it. Don't do anything for 20 minutes. When the timer goes off, take off the lid, 1 Basmati, 2 Basmati. Put it back on. That just released the steam. The heat is off. Okay, set it for 5 more minutes and just let it sit with the heat off, and that's going to finish the cooking. You're going to take the lid off, and you're going to find beautiful, beautiful rice. Now, with a fork, at this point, you want to fluff it, okay? And you'll see all these grains. They're separate, but they are still a little bit sticky. It's just perfect texture. So just fluff it up with your fork, all right? And that really will stop the cooking if it's still, hot near the bottom. And just give it, you're just using the tips of the fork to kind of break things up. And when you put it in your bowl, you're going to find the most delicious, see that? The grains are pretty much separate, but they do kind of stick together, which is the perfect combination. So you want the rice to have a little bit of tackiness so that it holds the sauce or the stew or the braised chicken, whatever you're putting on top of there. This is not that converted Uncle Ben style rice where all the grains are perfectly separate. See, that's not, in my opinion, not really good rice to use for food. I want something more like I get at the Chinese restaurant or the Indian restaurant, this nice fluffy style rice. So be brave, follow the directions exactly, and it will come out. Enjoy.